Hey everybody, I'm here to talk about low Oregon grape. We've done a couple videos about tall Oregon grape, but we have not talked about low Oregon grape yet. Here in the middle, I see last year's berry slash flower stem. So these ones are much more kind of long and skinny. In botany we call it a spike shape. And the Mahonia aquifolium, which is tall Oregon grape, those are a little bit wider, the flowers. So these will be flowering soon, but I'm up on Cougar Mountain, and so we're a little high elevation. So these ones aren't blooming yet, but down at sea level they might be. And you can eat the berries on these too, by the way. But mostly when we're coming out to harvest these guys, we're looking for the bark. And the bark is bright yellow. And in fact, you can even just take your fingernail and expose some bright yellow bark right there. And it's interchangeable with tall Oregon grape, but these ones we actually need to pull out of the ground to harvest. Technically you could take some if it was branching off at a different place, but they're so small that you can just take an entire plant. So I don't harvest this one as often, but I happen to find a really big patch where I am right here that I think could handle some harvest. So I'm going to show you how to pull it out of the ground, because it's a little different. You don't just cut it like the tall Oregon grape. So I'll show you how you do it. I'm going to harvest this one right here. And the first step is to figure out which direction the root is traveling into the ground. So this one looks like it's kind of turning off this way, which means that I'm going to pull from over here. And remember that patching plants that grow in clusters like this, are often connected. So, you know, there might be only a few plants here and a lot of plants are going to branch off of those. So this one might even be connected to the one next door. So sometimes you'll get two in a row. So I'm going to kind of clear as much of the leaf duff off of the stem as possible and just start bringing it back and forth, which loosens the soil around it. And then eventually I'm gonna look behind me, make sure there isn't anything dangerous. If you have somebody with you, you can have them spot you, because we're gonna be pulling and sometimes you can fall backwards. I'm gonna get my feet real good planted on the ground, and I'm gonna pull gently but firmly up out of the ground. And slow is the name of the game here. Wow, I'm really getting quite the root here. That was a really good, well-chosen plant. So, wow, look at that, guys. How long that went. So this is the entire root all the way underground. And this is why we do the root. Now, a lot of people do say that the root is more potent medicinally, i.e. it could be more antimicrobial, more strongly antimicrobial. It might have some compounds that the stem might not. So sometimes I do like to make tincture out of this species because I know that it's pretty potent. The bark color is also even darker, which is one sign that it's got more medicine in it. But if you imagine, this root is underground trying not to rot. And from the leaf duff, I can tell you there's literal mycelium in the leaf duff. So you can imagine how many compounds that Oregon grape has to have so as not to rot in a shady Pacific Northwest forest. It's a very wet place. So this is a very awe-inspiring plant, a very strong antimicrobial, and I do like to work with this species sometimes. So I'm gonna take this home and I'm gonna either spray it off or just brush it off. It depends on how much you want to get dirt off. Some people like a little dirt because, you know, that has its own medicine. And then I'm probably gonna make a tincture, or I'm gonna dry it for tea for like wound washes and compresses and stuff. So this is low Oregon grape, Mahonia nervosa, and its preferred habitat is in the forest, whereas tall Oregon grape is going to grow more in open areas. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you go out and harvest some Oregon grape this year. Let me know how it goes.